That bottle of water you bought because you wanted something clean and pure. That choice may have given you more plastic exposure than drinking from your tap. The study that proved it was published in a peer-reviewed journal funded by an independent journalism organization and conducted at a public university. The bottled water industry disputed it. The industry then refused to release its own testing results. You are going to find out which 7 water brands tested highest for microplastic contamination, 3 ways to verify what you are drinking at home, and 3 alternatives that dramatically reduce your plastic exposure. The evidence comes from a 2018 study conducted at the State University of New York in Fredonia, commissioned by Orb Media, published in the journal Frontiers in Chemistry, and filed as the basis of a federal class action lawsuit. Here's what the study found. Researchers tested 259 bottles from 11 leading brands purchased in 9 countries. 93% of the samples showed some level of microplastic contamination. The global average was 10.4 confirmed plastic particles per liter for larger particles, confirmed by infrared spectroscopy as genuine plastic, and an additional 314.6 smaller particles per liter that researchers said were also almost certainly plastic. The most common plastic found was polypropylene, the same material used to make bottle caps. The study's conclusion was straightforward. Much of the contamination was coming from the packaging and bottling process itself. The World Health Organization responded by announcing a formal review of microplastics in drinking water. No U.S. federal standard for microplastics in bottled water currently exists. Nestle Pure Life, the highest contaminated brand in the Orb Media study, averaging 930 microplastic particles per liter across tested lots. One sample registered over 10,000 particles per liter. In April 2018, a federal class action lawsuit was filed in Los Angeles accusing Nestle of misleading consumers about the purity of Pure Life, citing the SUNY Fredonia study results. The lawsuit alleged Nestle intentionally, negligently, and recklessly concealed the truth about its product's quality. After the study was published, Nestle conducted its own tests and reported between 0 and 5 particles per liter. They were the only brand to publish their own results. None of the other brands agreed to make their independent tests public. Dasani, Coca-Cola's water brand. Dasani is filtered municipal tap water, confirmed on the company's own website and on its labels, which now read purified water sourced from municipal supplies after pressure from consumer groups. In 2004, in the United Kingdom, a batch of Dasani was recalled after UK authorities found bromate contamination, a suspected human carcinogen, above legal limits. Coca-Cola pulled the brand from the UK market entirely. Aquafina, PepsiCo's bottled water brand. Also filtered municipal tap water. In 2007, after sustained pressure from the consumer watchdog group Corporate Accountability International, Pepsi agreed to change its labels to state that Aquafina originates from a public water source. According to a Consumer Reports investigation, Pepsi paid approximately 1 penny per gallon for the municipal water, then sold it at a markup of up to 133 times greater when bottled. Evian. Despite marketing itself as pristine alpine spring water, Evian was among the brands tested in the Orb Media study and showed microplastic contamination. Microplastics appear to enter even genuine spring water through the bottling and packaging process itself. The bottles are the primary source. Smart Water, a Coca-Cola brand, the same company that makes Dasani. Smart Water sources its water from municipal supplies, then puts it through a vapor distillation process. It is filtered tap water with added electrolytes and a premium price point. It appeared in the Orb Media contamination data along with other plastic bottled brands. Voss sold in distinctive cylindrical bottles and marketed as Norwegian spring water. The premium packaging is plastic in many of its formats. Independent testing has found microplastic contamination consistent with other plastic packaged water brands. The plastic bottle is the common variable. Ice Mountain is a Nestle Waters North America brand, the same parent company as Nestle Pure Life. Its water comes from springs in the Great Lakes region. The Orb Media Studies findings about Nestle brands apply across the company's portfolio. Ice Mountain has not published independent microplastic testing results. Now, 3 tests. First, inspect the bottle. The single strongest predictor of microplastic contamination in the Orb Media study was not the source, it was the packaging. Plastic PET bottles are themselves shedding particles into the contents through a combination of heat, light, and physical wear. Glass bottled water showed dramatically lower contamination in comparison testing. Before buying, check the container. Second, check the label for purified or municipal source. Any bottle labeled purified water is filtered tap water. The filtration technology is real. Reverse osmosis and UV sterilization remove biological and chemical contaminants, but those filters do not remove microplastics. Municipal source plus a plastic bottle is the combination that produces the highest exposure. Third, run a TDS test. Total dissolved solids meters cost about $15 and are available online. Real spring water has a consistent mineral profile, typically between 100 and 300 parts per million TDS. Filtered tap water like Dasani or Aquafina is often near 30 to 50 ppm before minerals are artificially added back. If you test your expensive spring water and it reads below 50 ppm, you are drinking processed tap water. Here are 3 alternatives that reduce exposure. Life WTR. PepsiCo brand, but offered in glass bottle formats in select markets. If you choose the glass packaging specifically, the primary contamination pathway, the plastic bottle, is eliminated. Available at Whole Foods and some Target locations. Evermore, natural artesian water. Sourced from a protected artesian aquifer in Louisiana, bottled in glass, no plastic contact with the water during storage, available at Whole Foods and natural grocers for around $2 to $4 per bottle. One of the few major brands that combines genuine artesian sourcing with glass packaging. Tap water with a Brita or Berkey filter. The most honest alternative on this list. NSF certified home filters using activated carbon and, in Berkey's case, advanced filtration media, remove most organic contaminants from tap water. The Berkey system is independently certified to remove microplastics. Tap water costs fractions of a penny per liter. A quality filter pays for itself in weeks. The environmental savings are significant, and you control the container. The bottled water industry sold Americans 15 billion gallons of water in 2022 at prices between 300 and 2,000 times what that water cost before packaging. The SUNY Fredonia study found that 93% of that packaged water contains the packaging itself as a contaminant. No federal standard requires brands to test for or disclose microplastic levels. No recall has been issued. You now know which brands tested highest, what to look for on the label, and how to verify what you are drinking. You also know the cheapest and cleanest option available to most Americans is already in their kitchen. Which water do you drink most often? Let me know in the comments and whether you are switching after today.